June 24th, 1967. Upper Wharfedale, Yorkshire Dales. A quiet Saturday morning on Grassington Moor that will end with 6 men sealed forever beneath the limestone. You are about to walk, crawl, into Mossdale Caverns, the most unforgiving system in Britain, with the 6 who believe they knew it better than anyone else. What starts as a triumphant push into Virgin Cave turns into a slow-motion drowning in a passage so tight that even screaming is impossible. This is the story of how the mountain took Dave Adamson, Jeff Barrow, Colin Vickers, Bill Frakes, John Ogden, and 17-year-old Michael Ryan, and never gave them back. Imagine standing at Mossdale Scar just after dawn. A crystal stream slips between boulders and disappears into a black slot no wider than a doorway. The air smells of wet peat and sheep. 10 friends are rigging lamps, checking carbide, laughing about the wedding in 3 weeks. Dave Adamson, 26, tall, calm, the man who has traced almost every inch of this cave on previous trips, kisses his fiancée Morag Forbes goodbye. Back by midnight, he promises. Morag, along with 2 other men and 1 woman, plans only a gentle few hours underground. Photography, a picnic, nothing serious. The remaining 6 shoulder the heavy packs, drills, detonators, crowbars, survey gear. Their target lies 2 kilometers inside, beyond a crawl that has broken stronger people than them. They are going to blast open a new route and put their names on a piece of the planet no human has ever seen. You follow them in. The entrance series is almost friendly. Boulder Hall echoes like a cathedral. You can stand upright, swing your arms, feel almost normal. The stream gurgles beside you. Then the roof begins its slow, deliberate crush. The knee wrecker lives up to its name. Sharp limestone teeth ripping at neoprene. The air turns cold enough to burn your lungs. Lamps pick out pale flowstone that looks like frozen waterfalls. The group moves well. Banter keeps the nerves down, but the cave is only playing with them. An hour and a half in, the 4 casual cavers reach their turnaround time. They exchange hugs, promises of beer later, and head out. Morag takes one last look at Dave's lamp, disappearing round a bend, and feels nothing but pride. Above ground, the sky is iron gray but dry, nothing to worry about. Underground, everything changes. The 6 reach the start of the marathon crawls. First near marathon, 900 feet of flat-out belly crawling, 18 inches high, sometimes less. You lie on the stream itself, dragging your body with elbows and toes, pack scraping behind like a dead animal. There is a 5-foot alcove halfway where you can kneel. Luxury. Then, far marathon begins. Another 900 feet of the same hell, only narrower, wetter, meaner. The rock is polished smooth by centuries of floodwater. Your shoulders are pinned so tightly that breathing becomes a conscious effort. Turn around? Impossible. You committed the moment you slid in. You are in the most claustrophobic place on Earth, and the only way out is forward. They reach the end around 4 p.m., tired, bruised, but elated. This is why they do it. They dump the gear, eat chocolate, plan the blast. Dave notices the stream is running a little stronger. Jeff checks the sump pool, up an inch, maybe 2. Nothing dramatic. Mossdale does this. They've seen it before. 10 more minutes, they say, then we'll head out. That small decision, 10 harmless minutes, will kill them all. On the surface, the weather breaks. At first, it's just steady rain. By 6:30, the moor is a drum skin under horizontal water. Morag feels the first prickle of unease. At 7:30, she pulls on her coat and walks the 3 miles to the scar. The stream has risen, but the entrance is still clear. She waits 20 minutes, sees nothing, tells herself to stop being silly, and walks back to the hut. At 9 p.m., she returns again. And this time, the world ends. Where the entrance had been is now a raging brown lake. The entire scar is underwater. Boulders that weighed hundreds of pounds have been rolled like marbles. Morag screams, a sound lost instantly in the storm, and runs 3 miles through pitch-black moorland to raise the alarm. Deep inside, the 6 men have already started back. They notice the change immediately. The stream that had been a trickle is now a fire hose shooting down the passage. Water rises so fast they can feel it climbing their calves as they crawl. There is no discussion. Packs are abandoned. They drop flat and pull for their lives. Jeff Barrow, 30, stocky, unbreakable, takes the lead with Michael Ryan right behind him. Michael is the baby of the group, 17, on his first serious trip, but fast and fearless. They hit the choke at the end of Far Marathon, the vicious letterbox squeeze that is the only exit. Jeff rams himself through, reaches back, hauls Michael after him. They are almost into the larger chamber beyond. Then the flood hits like a train. Water fills the tube from floor to ceiling in seconds. There is no up. Jeff spots a hairline rift in the roof, maybe 4 inches high, and together they force their heads into it, mouths gaping at a shrinking pocket of air. You have to picture this. 2 grown men trying to breathe from a crack the width of a house brick, while a river screams inches below their chins. Behind them, Dave Adamson leads Colin, Bill, and John into the same flooded tube. They meet the full force of the current head-on. You cannot stand, you cannot turn, you can only inch forward while the water lifts you against the roof. Lamps die one by one. The noise is beyond description, a continuous explosion inside your skull. John Ogden is last. He hears the others ahead, voices muffled, then suddenly silent. He realizes the awful truth before anyone else. The way out is already full of water and bodies. In a moment of animal clarity, he stops crawling forward. He plants his boots against the walls and slides backward, an almost superhuman feat in that crush. He finds a fissure overhead, no wider than a paperback book, and jams his entire upper body into it, helmet first. Shoulders dislocating, ribs creaking, face forced upward into the last centimeter of air. He is trying to become part of the rock itself. The worst accident of the day has already happened. They just don't know it yet. Above ground, Britain wakes to the news on Sunday morning. Radio bulletins beg for cavers, pumps, diggers. By noon, several hundred volunteers are on site. They build a dam across the beck with JCBS and sandbags taller than a man. Generators roar, pipes the width of dustbins suck water out of the new lake. Hope is a thin, stubborn thing. 6 experienced lads, they'll be sitting in a high chamber, playing cards, waiting for the levels to drop. Monday afternoon, the water is low enough. The first rescue team crawls in. They shout until their voices crack. Nothing. They reach the marathon and the air turns sour. Then, halfway along Far Marathon, they see it. 2 sets of legs sticking out of the rift like broken furniture. Jeff and Michael, heads still wedged in their air pocket, eyes wide, mouths open in silent screams. The rescuers have to crawl over their friends to go deeper. 3 more bodies lie farther in. Dave, Colin, Bill, sprawled where the flood finally overpowered them. 5 accounted for. John Ogden is missing. They search for 2 more days while the dam groans and threatens to burst again. On the final entry, they almost miss him. John has forced himself so violently into the overhead crack that only one boot and the white of his helmet show through the silt. His body is folded at impossible angles, as if the cave itself compressed him. 6 lamps go out forever. The cave is sealed with concrete and warning signs. For 3 years, the bodies lie where they died, washed daily by the stream that murdered them. In 1970, a small group of friends breaks the seal, crawl back in, and carry the remains, piece by piece, to a high dry chamber they name the sanctuary. They lay their friends side by side, cover them with boulders, and leave a simple plaque. Then they seal Mossdale again, this time for good, or so they thought. Over the decades, new entrances have been dug. A handful of hardcore cavers still visit, illegally, silently. Some come back talking about voices in the marathon, faint calls for help that stop the moment you shine your lamp. Most say it's just water and guilt playing tricks, but every single person who has lain alone in Far Marathon admits the same thing. The cave remembers. Here is what stays with you long after the video ends. In Britain alone, there are over 4,000 known cave systems and thousands more waiting under your feet right now. Most will never hurt you, but a few, like Mossdale, only need one overlooked shower, one extra hour, one moment of "it'll be fine" to turn from playground to tomb. Dave Adamson was getting married in 3 weeks. Michael Ryan had just finished school. Jeff Barrow had promised his mother he'd be careful. 6 men went in to draw a few more lines on a map. The mountain drew the final line through all of them. Never forget, underground, experience doesn't negotiate. The cave always wins.